show. Today is an impromptu show because tomorrow is the final day for Kenya to register to go to the polls in August, on the 9th of August. Now, Kenyans are keen to vote from wherever they live. So basically, diasporans who live abroad want to vote wherever they are for the Kenyan elections. Now, this is something that other countries have tried and failed. Ghana, from about 2016, or is it 2006? I'm not sure. Let me just check. Have tried to have something called ROPA so that all Ghanaians abroad and in different African countries can vote in the elections. They register and they vote. But because it's difficult to do that, Ghanaians take the plane, go and register, and then take the plane and go and vote. So Ghanaians are very rich to do this. However, if you live outside and you're voting, what are you voting for? Are you part of the system? Do you feel comfortable that what you are voting for comes to fruition? Now, if you want to vote outside of your country, are you sure that there will be no vote rigging? Are you sure that it's going to be counted correctly? Are you sure that everything is going to go the way that you want it to go? Well, I have a guest, and her name is Juliet Makhapila. She's been on this show before to talk about whether people in African countries respect the people in the diaspora, because all they keep doing is ask for money when they need it. But do they actually count them as part of the system, as part of the community, as part of the collective? Do they see them as cash cows, or do they see them as people who are helping with the community apart from the constant asking for money? Now, Juliet wanted me to do this show. This is my first show in the year 2022. Today is February 6th, 2022. And so, welcome to the show. It's very nice to see you all. The problem is, I haven't seen. My guest is here. My guest is here. Hello, Juliet.
I'm blessed. How are you? And Happy New Year, our wonderful host, Kikish.
Happy New Year to you. How are you?
Thank you. I'm okay. Is it, am I, you know me, I don't know how to, I'm going upside. I don't know. How am I supposed to? Is that better?
Yeah, I can see you.
It's okay.
Can you see yourself?
I can see myself, but I can't see the full screen. So obviously I'm doing something wrong on my side. No.
You're turning yourself upside down.
Okay, so what I need to do. So how do I?
You were okay.
I haven't got a clue. Is that okay?
Okay, now my guest, Juliet, as I was saying before, is a founder of many diaspora forums, including UK, Africa, Congo, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Malawi. She's UK Diaspora Forum Diversity of Kenyan Communities. Now, she is determined to help all communities of Africa, especially her beloved country, Kenya. Now, we're going to ask her questions about how they managed to get their country, to get them to vote from outside so that diasporans could do that. And we who have tried to do this, we've called it ROPA 2006. We were promised by one of our previous presidents, President Kufuor, who said that we were going to be able to vote from outside. He came to the UK to tell us this. There was a huge discussion about it. We've worked on it, talked about it, and it was going to happen in 2020. However, I'm not sure whether it's because of COVID-19 or for whatever reason, we have not managed to start our voting. People are hoping that because of all the registrations that we've done so far, possibly if you have a card, you will be able to vote anywhere. But that is something that's going to happen soon, hopefully. Now, welcome to the show again, Juliet. Do you want to just update us, because there will be a lot of Kenyans on the show tonight and later on, whoever is watching from Kenya, what is happening in Kenya right now?
Thank you so much to your program, and also for Ghanaians taking interest to understand what we are doing in Kenya. I'm absolutely blessed as always to be in your show. Our host here today, Kike. And indeed, I am in the hot news, the really, really hot news or flash news for Kenyans in the United Kingdom. You know, for the first time, we are registering to be we are registering so that we are able to vote for the elections for this year, for presidential elections for the diasporans here in United Kingdom. So we are very, very excited, my dear, to be going to the to register. So we've got a full team of what is called IEBC, which is responsible for registering Kenyans both in Kenya. And so they've traveled all the way from Kenya to come and support Kenyans living in United Kingdom so we can all enjoy our constitutional rights, as per se, and begin to elect our leaders. So they're going to start us off with some small steps, which is this time round, we're going to be voting for a presidential election. So as a Kenyan, as a change maker, I am absolutely excited, and I'm calling upon all Kenyans living in United Kingdom to be able to go into the venue, which is Kenya Embassy, to be able to go and register themselves to vote. In Swahili, we say, jiandikishe kupiga kura. That means that go and register yourself to become a voter. So I'm absolutely excited just to have you and also supporting us into bringing that news to your local communities as well. Because, you know, as a change maker, I would love to see Africans, and not just Kenyans, but I would love to see the diasporians from across Africa being able to get the same, to being able to elect their leaders, you know. So yeah, I know you'll be asking me other questions later on, so I'll leave it there, my dear. And thanks so much for the beautiful introduction. Apologies for my for me being able to not being able to hold my connections and my technical stuff not here because of COVID restrictions. But back to you, my dear.
Yeah, one of my questions from all that you said so far, why is it important for the diaspora Africans to be involved in the local election? Because you mentioned local election, and I thought that you were talking about the national election. Now, are people doing the local before they do the national as well?
In London here, we're not voting, so don't confuse the voting. So we're registering ourselves so that we can vote in August.
Yes,
So
that's what I'm
yes.
talking about. So, but you mentioned local elections and national elections. So I'm asking you, when people register, are they registering for local as well as? And does that then not bring in tribal issues as well? I don't know.
Okay, so when you register to be able to vote, if you're in Kenya, if you live in Kenya, you're going to be able to vote for any local or national leaders. But because
Yeah,
currently we're living in United Kingdom, what we're
yeah,
going to be voting for this time around in 2022, we're going to only be able to vote for the presidential election. Like myself, I plan to go hopefully to be in Kenya at the time of the election. Then, by if so, if you sorry, let me put it this way: if you plan to be in Kenya at the time of the election, which is in August, then as you register, you're meant to tell them, oh, I would love to vote while I'm in Kenya. So this exercise is purely to register you to be able to become a voter. And so this exercise is brought to us here in United Kingdom so that we enjoy and we begin to enjoy the constitutional right that was passed in 2010 for us. So many of us Kenyans now enjoy. We fought for our civil rights, put it that way, for dual nationality, and we constantly you'll always see me there and campaigning and advocating for Kenyans to be patriotic so that we are able to enjoy all the full benefit that our constitutional rights gives us. So on this occasion, for the first time, and that is why this is hot news, because for the first time here in United Kingdom, Kenyans will be able to vote for their president, and that is exciting news. It sends a sparkle in our, for me anyway, because to me that is what we're supposed to do. So once we get to know which presidents are going, or the political aspirants, you in Kenya right now there's a big campaign. So before long, there will be a deadline when all the candidates who are standing will be required by the IEBC to say who their presidential candidates are. And of course, if you're an independent as well, you will have to declare as well at a particular time, just like here. So there is a closing date. So if anybody would like to follow that kind of news, especially for the Kenyans, we've got what we call the IEBC. I repeat that, IEBC, and just Google that and you can see the time frames that are put there. So that's what I can suggest. And also follow the exciting news. So it's flash news for us. It's hot debate here in United Kingdom, you know, for Kenyans to begin to enjoy their constitutional rights. You know, I mean, there's a lot of debates going on. How will it be done? Who is going, you know, all those kind of baby steps, sort of like conversations that you would say. But I think for me, it's memorable, and I believe that, you know, it's about time that Africans, and especially Africans or Black Caribbeans and Africans, begin to enjoy the benefits that our home countries bring. And that is why I'm so excited to Kiki Chat Show, being a Ghanaian. When you come from Ghana and take interest with this beautiful, exciting news, you become the first one, by the way, to actually air this from a different community. So thank you so much to your show, my dear. I'm absolutely excited, and I know that if I don't know if Professor has tagged in, but if he's done that, he can also help us to bring us into how we got into this space. You know, the journey, put it that way, the journey that we've taken so far from Kenya and how that links in with here. But from a journey of a community change maker, the journey has been tough. We have been calling about, we have been asking our government that we need to be part of the political sector. I mean, there's still engagement that is still continuing in our government, whereby how a certain, you know, like if you live in different countries, sometimes, I mean, in UK, we're quite blessed because United Kingdom, we enjoy the benefit of dual nationality, as I say. But you can find certain places they don't enjoy the full benefit of dual nationality. So I'm glad to be living in United Kingdom, my dear. So yeah.
Okay. Is there a cost involved in this registration? Do you have to pay some money? And when you talk about the IEPC,
Yeah.
is you go to your consulate or your high commission or something to register?
Yep.
And how much, and is there money involved? Because people may want to know.
So Candy, so basically all you have to do is you just, the venue where we are registering right now, currently, there's only one place that people can go and register, and that is the that's the Kenya Embassy. So we are asked as Kenyans to go to our embassy, and there, that's just the venue that is being used. So that's the venue where people go. But when you get down there, the staff of IEBC are available, very friendly staff. They've come all the way from Kenya, and so they meet you, and all you've got to do is bring your Kenyan identity card or a valid Kenyan passport, one or the other, and that qualifies you. There is no fee you pay. There is nothing of the sort. They're not there to check anything, whether you have your status. They're just there to help you to register. And when you get there, you fill in a form, a simple form, just to tell us your name, account, you know, and just a simple form of your particulars, put it that way. And they support you. And then they take your fingerprints to make sure that you're the right person who is going to be voting on the day when the day comes in. So we are just doing the registration. In Swahili, we say, jiandikishe kupiga kura. It means go and register yourself to make your vote, basically. So it's that simple. I mean, and we are encouraging Kenyans around United Kingdoms to make their way. We want as many Kenyans to be able to vote, because if we, you know, you'll always often see conversation, Candy, as you know, in WhatsApp group. But now we want all of them, instead of talking in WhatsApp group, let them now go and register so that you now begin to enjoy the democratic rights that we can elect our own leaders. So if we can elect our own leaders, we're able to say, should I say, we are able to participate. And I was about to say we are able to remove and bring in and support the ones that we want. I mean, in Kenya, we have different political parties. So, but for you to be able to elect the president that you want to see, the next president to come in, you've got to be able to have that right. So right now, the exercise to do that is what I'm talking about. And that is why I'm absolutely delighted to be once again in your show here, Candy. And thanks for even contacting myself to be able to bring you the flash news. And you know, I love the Ghanaian community. As you know, I do loads of program, and even when your president came here, and I want to also celebrate the Ghanaians, because you know, when it comes to Pan-Africanism issues, Ghanaians takes lead. So that is why I am very happy for you to be picking up this news. And you know, I want Ghanaians to push this issue even in their own community, in your own community, so that you also have your constitutional rights, so that you are able to also vote for your president. And you know, so now the next stage for us is, we don't just want to vote for our presidential election, we also want to vote for our local leaders, you know, because, you know, our local, let's say like the MCA, the MPs, the senators, and we want to be able to vote for the governors as well. So currently we are only allowed to vote for the president, but hopefully in the next 5 years, we will be able to vote for the rest of the cabinets, you know. So for me, this for me, I just want to first of all celebrate, because I know that I have really campaigned, and I want to appreciate one Ghana person in 2017, I believe, Joseph. When I was queuing up in the cold and advocating that Kenyans should be allowed to vote, he came over and he supported me to actually help me to canvass and support that idea. So I remember standing out in the cold in 5 years ago, and I was there, and he came in even as Kenyans were struggling. And I remember my hands swelling up, and there was a McDonald's over there. I kept rushing to have my hot chocolate, and I kept standing up there saying to people, please support us to call upon these beautiful news that we're experiencing right now. So to do that, and to know that I had some Ghanaians standing by my side, let me tell you, I really celebrate your community, and I can tell you that Ghanaians for sure played a role in supporting. I was there in that cold. I remember that cold winter when I stood outside, and I remember that cold winter when I took the letter and demanded that I wanted to have my constitutional right to be able to vote for the president of Kenya, and also to be able to vote for all the other local leaders, whether, and in different African countries they call them different names. So in Kenya we've got MCA, we've got senators, we've got MPs. So for me, just for the fact that Kenyans living in United Kingdom and Kenyans living in United Kingdom also qualified. It's not all the diasporan as well that have qualified to get to vote, because when the government was asking for Kenyans to come in and register their names, that, you know, for saying so that they could see how many people were interested, I was busy saying to Kenyans, go to your embassy, please, go to your embassy, just go and register, so that at least the interest is there, because I didn't want our country here, or Kenyans in the United Kingdom, to miss out. And so what you find is in certain diasporan, in certain countries outside Kenya, you find that some of them didn't qualify to bring enough Kenyans that the government would have thought that they could take this kind of idea to them. But for us here, we are excited. Can I thank the chairman of IEBC, Chief Kati? Can I also thank our Kenya High Commissioner as well for the role that he's played, His Excellency High Commissioner SC Piso. And I also want to thank every single Kenyan who is taking this exercise very seriously and ensuring that we are able to spread the message for us Kenyans to come out in numbers. I really love to take that front seat in terms of even shouting out and making sure that Kenyans get the right information. Let me give it a high shout from your station as well here, because I believe that tomorrow is the last day. So let me be as accurate as possible, because it's absolutely important for us to be getting those information right. And I know that this information, if it is shared widely, we need more numbers. So basically, IEBC, voters registration of Kenyan citizens in the UK, voters registration for Kenyans in the United Kingdom is currently ongoing at the Kenya High Commissioner in UK, located at number 45 Portland Place, Marylebone, London, W1B number 1AS. The registration center opens at 9 a.m. and closes at 5 p.m. every day, including Saturday and Sunday. The exercise, which started on 24th of January 2022, ends on Monday, February the 7th, 2022 at 5 p.m. All you need to do is to register. All you need to register is your valid Kenyan passport, both old and new generation or original Kenyan ID, your vote, your future. I tell you what, when you see that and it says join the conversation online, and our hashtag or the hashtag that the IEPC is using, hashtag capital ECVR 2022. So that's absolutely critical. And I tell you what, this is just historical news passing here. You know, it's one of the best news, because for me, when I think about where we've come from, and you know, if you think about how the lengthy process we have stayed without just not being able to participate in our country, watching, and we are always seeing all kinds of politics. And if you know, when you're living abroad, Candy, and you see some of the stuff that is happening, you almost want to scream. So now, if you can be able to know that we in the diasporans, if they misbehave, we can say no, remove them. you feel happy, you know, you feel happy to be able to participate in that process. That is why it's important that we register in numbers.
One of the questions, as you were speaking passionately, I wanted to ask you was,
Yeah.
with this energy, with this passion, why are you not in Kenya, actually in a political party, giving out? Because you have so much experience here. You've done so much here. You've been a community leader. You've gone through, the experience is brimming over. Why don't you take that into Kenya itself and get into politics?
Thank you so much, Candy. You know, that question I get a lot asked. I tell you what, and it's not that I don't want to be there. I want to suggest that who knows? Who knows the future? Let me go into my political mood there. And I say to you, currently here in United Kingdom, I hold this, I'm very active within the Liberal Democrats, and I can definitely tell you, look out for the future. So you can see right now is when we are just allowed to register. So the process of registration for diasporians, especially in United Kingdom, is just now shaping up. So when you ask a question like that, I can say there has been barriers facing diasporians in the past. And that is why it is important that our constitutional changes in Africa begins to appreciate and value the diasporians that live abroad, because those are the very same diasporians that actually have supported our countries to even be where it is. And that is why it's absolutely important. If you look at the remittance that the African community sends back into their own countries, it overtakes foreign it overtakes tourism, say, for example, even in Kenya. So the first things we should actually solve is, why is it Africans have not been enjoying their constitutional rights? So before you can ask somebody to go and actually stand, because what you're asking me is to go and stand. And so in the past, we've not been able to enjoy dual nationality. But right now, we are beginning to enjoy the dual nationality. And so as we begin to enjoy those dual nationality, I believe that a lot of those questions, and anybody who is willing to stand is encouraged to go back home. We've seen interesting politics. I can say that a few Kenyans have gone in and tried to stand. It's interesting to watch their journey. I'm always following them, let me put it that way. But you can see that many a times they don't even pass what you call primary, you know, like just entering into gates so that they can even stand, like before you can actually stand, you've got to be elected to stand. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there's all that kind of stuff. And also, I want to talk about resourcing as well. It's absolutely important for diasporians to get organized as well, so that whenever you want to think about going back home to become a political aspirant and for whichever political party that you want to stand, I want to assure you that it's important to connect with the right political parties. And I believe that we need to begin to enjoy that. I have been emphasizing that due to the changing patterns that are happening in the 21st century, that we should have a space where people know and get to know which political parties in Kenya you can enter. There's a big list, and sometimes that list changes in the next in the next election. So I think it's about civics participation, Candy. So look out, watch that space. Who knows?
I have a question, and the question
Yeah,
is, when you
yeah.
were talking about the different types of people who enter into the politics and all of that, are there women? This is a gender question. Are there women also part of, you know, have you got women standing now who you could
So,
go?
so So in Kenya, we have what they call women representatives, and even for persons with disability, our constitutional allows for that. And we were quite blessed because they made it mandatory so that we could get women coming into politics. As you know, the UN, especially the United Nations, has been pushing the issues of women, not just in they've been pushing that goal, women gender, goal number 4, so that women can also get to participate in decision-making processes. And in Africa, if you calculate how many presidents we've had in Africa, you can say the Malawi president, and you saw what happened. And then now we've got a vice president in Tanzania. It's not many. So I'm always advocating for women to go into politics, not just back home in our countries, but even here in United Kingdom. That is why you see I am right at the forefront setting those examples, because without somebody doing it, then obviously we are left behind. And especially for the Black, let's address let's address Black issues here in United Kingdom. And one thing I love about you is we are always talking about these issues, so that even here in United Kingdom, we can raise the number of women going into politics here. Because if we don't do that, who is going to advocate the issues for our youth today and today? And even who is going to advocate for our issues? And if you look even here right now, if you see the report that came out just not from the government about the race report, we were quite disappointed when you look at the race report that just came out, and you know that the discussion is still ongoing right now. So it's important that we here in United Kingdom, as Africans, as Caribbeans, or we get involved. It doesn't matter whether it is here in UK, but also back in our hometowns, so that we are able to push for good governance in our own countries. Yeah.
I just love your passion. And okay, so if by tomorrow, now that we're making the noise and we're going to forward this interview out and get people to know about it and everything, can you not ask for an extra week or something for people to be able to uh, register? Because it's between today and tomorrow, and that's it. How many people are all Kenyans who have not registered yet going to troop over there tomorrow? It's cold, it's raining. They'll have to be out there like you at the most. So, I mean, what going to help to do this, to get maybe a stay of execution, maybe an extra week or something?
So thank you for that beautiful question. Unfortunately, that question has been asked. We've been meeting with the IEBC staff and we've asked if the deadline can be extended. The answer is a definitely no, because these dates are not set by, they're set from Parliament, basically. So what happens is those dates have to be set. If there's any changes from the IEBC, they have to stick with the timely, like the timely dates that they've given us. So that's how it is. So what I can emphasize is for as many Kenyans to make their way to Kenya Embassy. But that question has been asked. Sadly, the answer is no. The deadline is the deadline. The deadline is tomorrow. And if you're a Kenyan who would love to be able to vote in August, you must go to the Kenya Embassy. And we've got the only Kenyan embassy, which I've read the address earlier on. So you must make your way there between the hours of 9 and 5. And all you've got to do is produce your ID and if your Kenyan ID, which you usually get given from the age of 18 anyway. So if you're Kenyan and you've got your Kenyan ID, just turn up in your nearest embassy, that is home. And also, if you've got your passport, please, valid passport, please turn up with it. You're a Kenyan, you'll always be Kenyan. That doesn't change. And it's just like if you're Ghanaian, you're always Ghanaian. And that will never change, regardless of anything. We're beautiful people. And what I want to also emphasize in your show, and I remember saying this to your president when he came here, I said to him, because I said to you that I'm so proud of Ghanaians when the patriotism that they bring around Africa, the way you celebrate Africa, the way you insist that we should do things the African way, the way you dance, the way you bring out your communities, and the way you appreciate where we come from. I've been to Ghanaians, say, for example, traditions, and I can tell you, I see the way they dress up. They keep to their African clothing like Nigerians, and we Kenyans are beginning to enjoy also that. You can see nowadays we are also trying to dress up in our traditional clothes. So thank you, Ghanaians, thank you, Nigerians, for being patriotic about your country. So let me say that for me, what I would love to see is this practice being extended and the provision being extended to all African presidents, so that the presidents, and we call upon the presidents of all African countries to help us, the diaspora and the 55 countries of Africans, so that all the...
You want them to include us, the diaspora?
I want them, yeah, in your own country. So like Ghanaians should be able to vote for your presidents and your local elections in your country. Zimbabwe, Malawi, the same. We should all be able to vote for our own political leaders. That would be the most beautiful thing, that you help the diasporians. And we should be able to also promote and their economic interest and play a major role, because we are also being included as well. So you add value to us as well. I think that's really a good one.
So basically, you already know who you're going to vote for, and you are going to go to Kenya to do this voting. But because you have registered here, it will be easy to just walk into a polling station and vote, basically. That's what you're saying.
So basically, when you go to register, they ask you, where do you come from back home? Or where do you normally visit? Exactly. There's a question there. Like I like that. So basically, is sorry, there's a question. Oh, where would you like? My apologies. Where would you like to vote? So, for instance, so if you want to vote in UK, obviously your polling station will be in United Kingdom. So you will go to the polling station that the government will give you. So, well, the IEBC will give us. So currently, as we speak right now, we are trying as community leaders to increase the number of polling stations that we can be allowed to. And that is why we are sort of like really, really pushing for as many Kenyans to come in, because the polling stations will only be given to us if we've got a large number of people voting. If we don't reach the number that they think is enough for us, then we will probably just have one polling station and they will say everybody should make their way there. But let's say we have thousands and thousands of people. They'll probably look at the register and say, oh, we've got a lot of people coming from Scotland. Let's have a polling station in Scotland. We've got loads of people registering from London. Let's have a polling station in London. Currently, we are hoping, I don't know, I cannot really tell because I'm not the IBC staff, but I'm hoping that we've managed to meet what they call the threshold, so that we are also allowed to vote for our president, because we have got to meet a threshold so that we are able to they are able to bring us that sort of like constitutional right. If we don't meet that threshold, it's like you call upon, let's say, oh, we want you to vote, and nobody turns up. Are they going to bring anyone? So currently, what we want is for as many Kenyans to vote, to come in and register, so that when the time comes for August, we are able to then vote. So that is what I can say for now. But I believe that during the last few days, especially the last week, this week, a lot of us Kenyans have been making a lot of efforts to tell somebody. And right now, I'm going to do it again. Please, Kenyans, tell your friends, 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people. Let's keep going until the last minute. Let's keep going, because the more people register, we are going to be seen as serious, and we are going to be seen that we want to vote for our presidents. And not only the president, we're also going to be telling the government that we want to go beyond that, so we want to vote for our local leaders as well, and that is our MCA, our MP, and also our senators and our governors. We want to go beyond just voting for the president's election. So for myself, I'm absolutely calling for all Kenyan citizens living in United Kingdom. Just let me get a Professor. Professor, are you in? They're waiting for you, please. I've sent you the StreamYard. Yeah? I'm live.
The professor is late, and if he doesn't click on, I sent it to him myself, and he hasn't clicked on yet. We have only about a few more minutes to go, and we have to leave. So
okay,
we have 7 minutes.
Thank you so much. Okay, let me. Yeah.
What are you the only? Are there other Kenyans also speaking out? Are there other Kenyans in the diaspora? For example, are there other Kenyans in London, in the UK, in Scotland, all saying the same things that you are saying?
Yes, I believe that many Kenyans would love to. Yes, I believe that many Kenyans would love to vote. That one is definitely, because when you see the kind of WhatsApp groups that is normally the kind of conversations that are happening in different WhatsApp group. Kenyans enjoy talking about politics, and you find that Kenyans affiliate themselves with certain political parties. So you might find that it's just like here. You might find that some people want to join in and become conservatives. Others want Labour. Others want Liberal Democrats. Others want Green. So you find that Kenyans enjoy joining various different political parties. And that's the beauty of democracy. I love to say that it's important that we have different ideas, and that's what really makes a good participation in terms of how we should enjoy politics. But I believe that Professor Jared Akama Onyara is here, and thank you so much for the short notice. And I know that he's joining us from, at the moment, he's currently visited United States, and he's based in Kenya. He's a professor, but let him quickly perhaps introduce himself. Or you've got his introduction there. But Professor, we don't have long to go because it's
all. To ask you a question, which is, what is the threshold needed to establish a polling station in London or in Scotland or in in Italy or in America, in all the states of America? People are asking what the threshold is needed to establish a polling station, so they don't have to travel to Kenya or Ghana or Nigeria.
No, so let's at the moment, let's just pay attention. This is just registrations for Kenyans living in UK. And in UK, we have a threshold to meet. All the information can be found on in their website, which is IEBC. I can't remember the threshold in terms on top of my head, but people can go to the IEBC and they can see what we in London are supposed to have. It's all there, black and white, transparent, it's beautifully written, and you can follow the stories as well, as I said on the hashtag that I gave. Yeah.
Okay. Now, coming back to the professor. Professor, do you have anything to say to end the show regarding the topic of voting from the diaspora to our countries, especially Kenya? Professor? I don't know. Professor is there, but it doesn't seem like he can hear us.
Okay. I think let me just answer that question. Maybe he's struggling from where he is. But I think that the last thing to say is, first of all, thank His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the president. And I just take this opportunity to thank him, because it is during his term that we are beginning to enjoy these provisions. So I want to thank the current government, his government, because this is when we have started. But I also want to thank all Kenyans in Kenya for fighting for our rights, so that we Kenyans in abroad could also enjoy these what we are having now, but also thank ourselves as well for being able to express. And I also want to thank all the MPs who took it up to the parliament to vote to bring this to parliament for us, because without the MPs in Kenya, we would not be enjoying these rights right now. But let me pass you to Professor Jared, because I can see he's been come on.
Hello.
Professor, I think, yes, we don't have long, because we have 3 minutes. So if you could give us a summary of how we came into having the constitutional rights of Kenya, that would help the viewers here today.
Yes, Professor?
Yeah, thank you for that question of what it means to vote from the diaspora. This has been a long journey. It's not been easy. It's something which we have fought for 30 years or so during the second reparation of Kenya. And on chapter of the Bill of Kenya, an opportunity to avoid double citizenship. They can be Kenyan and they can be wherever they are. And on the Bill of Rights, it also talks about that you cannot discuss. So this is something which is anchored in the Constitution, and the Independent Director of Boundaries Commission has to ensure that every, wherever he is given the opportunity to vote in the government of their own choice. If you allow a Kenyan who is in the diaspora not to vote, it will be unconstitutional. So that's what it means. And the question what it means to have a polling station here is, in terms of logistics here, is that if we can have a country or a city where Kenyans can be able to travel and register for logistic purposes, and that's why you can see we are having registration in the United Kingdom and in US. So it is something which is anchored in the Constitution.
Okay. Well, thank you both for coming on the show. Our time is up. We have, Professor, it has been great listening to you. Just this little bit of nugget of information you've given us is very powerful. And it would be a good idea to have polling stations, maybe one in every country, foreign country, say, so that people can travel to the place if registered, and then they will go and vote, because there is voting in America has that facility. The Australians vote and British vote, and it's all by postal voting. And right now, they're even thinking of digital voting. So those are opportunities that Africans can also. And one of the good things is, if this works, and it works well, even in the continent of Africa, we can all be voting wherever we are. If I'm in South Africa, there's voting in my country. I can't be there. I can still vote. So these are opportunities that we can all look forward to. Thank you very much. I think Kenya has done a first and has done a very powerful first in this. It's very exciting, I think, for Kenyans to be able to say that this is something that we have pioneered. I think it's something that you should be very proud of. And I hope that my country, Ghana, my beloved country, is always the first in everything. But in this time, you're beating us to it. We have been discussing it, though. We started discussing it from 2006. And
Yes.
it would have come on in 2020. Unfortunately, many things happened, and logistically it couldn't happen. But it will happen. But, there you go. So thank you so much, Juliet Makhapila, for coming on to the show yet again. Juliet is one of my normal guests who comes and has very powerful discussions, very interesting, illuminating. We learn from a lot of things that she says with so much energy and passion as well. And Professor, thank you so much for joining us and just putting it all in a nutshell in 2-3 minutes. That is very good. So I'm sure possibly you will be back on my show. This is Kiki's Chat Show. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye. Be well.
Candy, thank you so much for bringing us on air very quickly. I really appreciate your presence. God, I just love your country too. We love Ghanaians. Kenyans send greetings to your country as well. We love you.
We love Kenya too. We love
Thank
Kenya.
you. And it's Juliet Makhapila. That is how you pronounce it.
Pila.
Pila. Love you. African Wonder Woman. Thank you. Thank you, Professor, for such a short notice.
Africa sure is right.
I know.
Thank you so much, my people.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, listeners.
Say hello to your cousin, Ted.
I
I'm
will.
greeting him. I'm sending greetings to him as well. Hi, Ted.